church family. This is Preacher Mitch. Want to bring you a Bible study this afternoon, and we're going to try to do this every day this week as we approach the Easter celebration of the resurrection of our Lord. And I want to bring you a thought out of Psalms 91, and I've given this devotion a weird title, and it is just a half a mile to see the sunrise. Several years ago, we had a lady in our church that I called Miss Jane, and Miss Jane was a prayer warrior for her pastor. Miss Jane would bring me a red rose every Sunday morning and put it on the front pew of the church with a pen, and Miss Deborah would pin that on me every Sunday morning, and I preached with that rose. And Miss Jane made a commitment to me. She said, every day of your life, as long as I live, I will pray Psalms 91 over you. And Psalms 91 is a psalm that starts off in verse 1. It says, those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. So there's two words I want you to see there, the word live and the word rest. When we spend time with God, we live with God. He says that we will find rest. Notice in verse 2 that the psalmist says that I declare about the Lord, He alone is my refuge. He alone is my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust Him. So the psalmist is telling us there's nothing else that we can trust in the midst of all of these battles we have right now. Let God be your refuge and trust in Him. Verse 3 tells us the why of that. Why does the psalmist trust God? He says that the God he trusts will save him from every trap and will protect him from every deadly disease. There's a word used there, pestilence, in the King James language. And that word pestilence is a word that y'all be proud of me. I Googled it and looked it up. And the word pestilence means a disease or a virus that affects everyone in the community. And that's where we are. But the psalmist says that his God will rescue him from every trap and protect him from every disease. In verse 4 through 7, he tells how the great God saves him from all of the things that are around him. He talks about he covers him with his feathers and he shelters him under his wings, and his faithful promises are armor and protection for him. He says he doesn't have fear at night or fear of arrows during the day. And he talks about how many will fall. Thousands fall on one side and 10,000 are dying around me. But he says this, no evil can touch me. So as we look at these, we see several things further that the psalmist says. He says in verse 9, if you will make the Lord your refuge, if you will make the Most High your shelter, no evil will conquer you. No plague will come near your home, for he has ordered his angels. And if you'll study this verse out, this verse 11, Jesus uses this when he's tempted in Matthew chapter 4, or Satan uses it on Jesus in Matthew chapter 4. Satan says he's ordered his angels to care for you. And then at verse 11 he says, he will order his angels to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up with their hand so you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. He talks about us being people that trample lions and snakes and all of those things. But what is the psalmist saying here? This psalm is not a psalm that says God promises a world free from danger. But he does promise his help whenever danger comes our way. And he promises that he will protect us during that danger. You ask today, why would you entitle this half a mile to see the sunrise? Today, as we are sheltering in place in our homes, and I chose to get out here on this porch that the Lord's blessed me and Miss Deborah with, and behind us you can see the view of Horn Mountain, and Deborah and I every day, every afternoon, we get to see the sunset. And we see God's beauty in so many ways. But the other morning I got up and I was sitting out here praying, and I got to thinking about the sunrise. And I never get to see the sunrise because right behind our house there's another little mountain. It's called Ball Mountain, and it rises up several hundred feet behind our house. So to see the sunrise, I have to get in my car and drive about a half a mile down the road to see the morning beauty of God. And I want to end this by challenging you. Sometimes to see God's beauty, we've got to put forth a little effort. Sometimes to understand the situations around us, we got to spend a little time. So I want you to search in the coming days for God's beauty and understand that God is our refuge and He will protect each one of us as we strive to serve Him and love those around us. Hope everybody has a good week as we point toward Easter. God bless.